I would have had a cocktail, but it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. What's up, guys? Welcome back. I think we're back in business with audio and visual and everything. And it's a good thing because today is a really fun video. Today, I, Kackie, the above average, am collaborating with Miss Kate the Great, and we picked each other's makeup. We kind of messaged back and forth, gave each other a list of our favorites. The things that she loves that I did not have in my collection, I did pick up, and vice versa. So if you are unfamiliar with Miss Kate the Great, if you like my channel, you will love her channel. She is brilliant, well-spoken, hilarious, beautiful, and I find that the thing that I always compliment her on every time I see a picture of her or like join one of her live streams is her skin. And I think she's probably starting to get Hannibal Lecter vibes from me. I'm just like,
your skin is perfect, Kate.
She's just like, okay, just consider me jealous, okay? But I am super excited. I basically went and collected all the stuff in my collection that I already had. And then these are the two things, her kind of marquee products that I'm going to be including today. The Fenty body sauce, and I already love the Pat McGrath lip glosses, but this is in the shade Pale Fire Nectar. Look at all the sparkly shifties in that. So this is going to be basically a really bronzy, brown, pink, fun, just generally pretty glowy look. She does really pretty like skin kind of looks, and I'm going to hopefully aim to achieve Kate's greatness today. So I'm gonna move y'all in and we're gonna have some fun. Let's get started. So yeah, I mean, if I didn't make enough of a point of it, definitely head over to her channel after watching this video and watch her version of this. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I can't wait to see what she does with my makeup favorites. And we have a lot in common as far as our like favorite products because we do like some nice dewy finishes and stuff, but definitely a few differences, and I'm excited to play with them. So I'm going to get my hair out of my face here so I can be a princess. It's a whole vibe today on this Friday. So she loves a certain skin tint, I believe from Kevyn Aucoin. Kevyn Aucoin is not cruelty-free. I'm working with the Fenty Eavesdrop today because it sounded similar enough in finish. I'm in the really like gratifying beginning phases of being done like peeling properly on some retinol skincare and just getting into like that brightening pore shrinking. I know pores don't actually shrink, but it looks like they do. That phase. I'm just putting a little bit of concealer on underneath my eyes from Thrive here. I'm gonna kind of play it by ear as far as how much concealer I want to wear after I use the body sauce. And the body sauce, I was like tempted by it. I actually anti-hauled it, or maybe I don't know, I can't remember. I said I was gonna buy it and then I went and tried it in Sephora and I was like, oh, this isn't a skin tint. I literally thought it was like a, you know, Dior face and body kind of situation. And it wasn't. And then she came out with the Eavesdrop and I was like, this is what I was looking for. And like, I completely forgot about this stuff. I think that Kate applies this with a sponge. She had her own brush set with BK for a while. So in her honor, I'll be throwing everything on the floor apparently, using a bunch of BK stuff, including this BK sponge. Let's see what this is like. I got this in the lightest shade, 01. So yeah, I discovered Kate, God, it's been years ago. Time flies on YouTube, guys. It's been since January 1, 2018 that I decided I was going to like, you know, properly dedicate my efforts to making this channel my job. And only just this year have I actually been able to do so. That makes, what, 3.5 years, basically, doing this. And yeah, I think I've known Kate pretty much the whole time. Her thing, besides just doing beautiful makeup and having a great personality, is that she loves to have a cocktail or like a beverage, an alcoholic beverage of some persuasion while she's filming. That was something that I did in the very beginning just out of nervousness because I found that like being on camera, I was just way too self-aware. I was just like, oh, you know, like Tina Fey or, you know, Liz Lemon when she gets her own show. They're like, remember waving? You know, she like doesn't know what to do with her hands. I had to stop doing that because I was like editing out a lot of, well, just, I was glad that editing exists. So that is a little bit of the body sauce. She also has the Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush bronzer in here. So I'll be doing a little bit of that a little later, but like, I don't know, maybe we do a little more sauce. What do you say? It's such an interesting color, like, or interesting consistency, because it does almost look a little bit like makeup in the sense, like complexion makeup, you know what I mean? In the sense that it has opacity and a little bit of coverage to it, but it is like this taupe bronzer shade. Just using it on my face and my neck, it's such a natural looking tan. So I think next I will go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. I have this in the shade 1, and I have been going more towards my Patrick Ta recently just because, well, you know, newness puts things more front of your mind, but also this has been more of like a winter shade for me. It's just a little more subtle and a little bit like paler. Gonna grab this BK 104 here and almost just like set the body sauce a little. And to be clear, I'm not necessarily trying to do my makeup in the style of Kate, but more so use her favy faves in my style here. I always forget that I can just go completely ham sandwich with this stuff because it is such a fair shade. I am gonna need a little bit more concealer though, just, you know, to generally bring the look together. Let me grab my Thrive. I have this habit, if you are new here, if this is your first time on my channel, I always joke that like I use a product and then I apparently just mindlessly chuck it across the room because it's like, I just had it 2 seconds ago and somehow it has completely disappeared. That one was on the floor, so I grabbed it with my toes. But yeah, I've had that lovely thing where like I wake up every morning and whatever blemishes had, you know, had the audacity to pop up on me for the last couple weeks, they're just kind of like admitting defeat, waving their little white flag and peeling off first thing in the morning. I've been using Muesli and I am bookmarking different checkpoints in the progress of it kind of by week of using it, and it's been about almost 2 weeks now, and I will have like a whole video you know, with my experience and everything on it once. I think you have to use it for at least like 4 weeks to get results. Feeling very pretty, Megan Sparkle vibes. So that is the Fenty body sauce with the Charlotte Tilbury on top. The body sauce is really, like, it dries down in a really, really nice way. It's got a great hybrid texture to it because it doesn't look really matte, but it also isn't gummy. So when I put that powder bronzer on top, it doesn't get all cakey looking, which is good because we're gonna continue this whole like layering powder and creams vibe. And the next thing is her favorite shade of the Beach Please from Tower 28, which is Happy Hour. I don't think we're complected exactly the same. She definitely gets like more of a golden tan to her skin, and she wears like coral shades. And I don't know, like that Patrick Ta really like peachy cheek duo, those kinds of colors, like apricot colors, she wears them really well. Okay, maybe the sponge was the wrong choice for this particular application. Let's try something different here. And I've heard that Kate refers to the, you know, wintry flush as aspen cheeks. So that is her translation of Fjord's cheeks. And I am a-okay with adopting the synonym. I don't think I've ever used this big of a brush to apply blush before. I'm just kind of feeling experimental. I just like am very empowered by a gigantic brush. There's something about like, I don't know, I guess growing up, you know, buying all your makeup at the drugstore and like putting it on with your fingers, there was something very like unattainable and luxurious about using a giant brush to apply something. You finally get one in your hands and you're like, oh, I'm drunk with power. Speaking of drunk with power, my child learned how to chew last night. And it's all over, guys. It is all over for us. It is hilarious. This morning, he like pretended to bite the button off of my pajamas, and I was like, don't do that. And then he looks up at me and he goes, like he was pretending to chew the button. And I was like, are you showing me you're chewing? I'm so proud of you. Because up until now, he was definitely letting any kind of like hunk of food that wasn't completely blended go right to the back of his tongue, trigger his gag reflex, and he would throw up everywhere. So you can understand that we were a little bit hesitant to like keep trying. But yeah, it only took like one time showing him like, hey, this is how you chew. And he was like, oh, there's no stopping me now. And so we cut him up a banana and we put it on his high chair and actually gave him something to do while we ate. He like was eating like face first. Like he lost his mind. It was amazing. He, again, drunk with power. It was awesome. All right, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more blush with a smaller brush so that we can concentrate that, you know, apply more, wipe less off kind of thing. And we will, you know, fine tune all of this once we get it all on. But yeah, this is just a really lovely, true hot pink. And that lip color from Pat McGrath, it's gonna pull it all. It's gonna pull it all together. Not that it needs pulling together. You know, these are very, very like comfort zone type shades for me, but it's gonna make it pop, you know? I'm so excited about the new Pat McGrath palette too. I think that me and Amanda, she's in there right now, she's, you know, sleeping in, are going to collab on that release. I'm not sure it's even gonna really qualify as like a collab. I don't know if we're gonna be like in person. We're just gonna be like, this is a collab, we're both buying. Cause like I heavily influenced her to buy the Divine Rose one, you know, when she came to visit me. All right, let's do a little highlighter. She loves the Glossier Haloscope and the Westman Atelier the Lit Up, and I have decluttered both of those because I found them to be a little bit on the frustrating side, mainly because I'm just like not so much a fingers person with putting my highlighter on. And so I actually pulled this because it's probably the most similar that I have, and I know that she does like Ritual de Fille. And this is just like really, really similar to those because it has that really cool ethereal shift. So this is the Ritual de Fille highlighter in Solaris. And I'm just going to grab a little synthetic brush here. And I'm gonna use it kind of as a highlighter, and then also sort of the way that I use the Salt New York to blend underneath my eyes. And it's gonna give us that like same or similar reflect that is also in the Pat McGrath. I feel like that really brings some excitement to the party, doesn't it? That's one thing about Kate's makeup is like, I can never really draw a line between like what's a textural bounciness to her skin and what's like an iridescence, you know? She just like mixed textures really beautifully, really brilliantly, and it always looks so seamless, so blended, so effortless. And effortless is always what I'm going for. I always joke, there's a lot of effort that goes into looking effortless, and she manages to do it while also like being hilarious and like on her game all the time. We're gonna be working with the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl, which is just a classic, and some of the lid stars. So I'm going to actually start with Slip, I think. Is that what I wanna do? And then we'll go Eyes to Mesmerize on top of that, just because this is such an excellent primer texture. These completely dry down and they go totally, totally budge proof, which is more than I can say for the Charlotte Tilbury texture. So maybe it'll help with that. Not that we're gonna be like doing a wear test or anything, but I am anticipating keeping this face of makeup on. Man, this is actually like approaching so many shades that I shy away from sometimes because they have what I consider to be kind of unpredictable shifts to them, you know? I think that like this lip gloss has a pretty unpredictable shift to it. It might even go a little bit kind of like, you know, pale blue. And same goes for a lot of like Ritual de Fille shades. And, you know, aside from the new Glossier lid stars that I didn't get my hands on yet, these kind of all look like they're going to be very innocent. And then when you get them on, they do have a little bit more of like a funky shift to them. So it'll be fun to like have a full face of that going on, try and balance it out. But this is like one of the most flattering, easy to wear shades for me, Oyster Pearl. And there are a lot of colors that are very similar to this, you know? I would compare Globe in the 30-second eyeshadow, 10-second. I always say 30-second because it takes 30 seconds at least. But the 10-second eyeshadow from Kosas is very, very similar in shade to this. But, I mean, this is very much one of the originals. Very, very easy. There'll be so many videos where I just wear this out of kind of like absence of creativity for that day, and everybody will be in the comments like, what do you have on your eyes? Because it just looks really like effortlessly cool. I'm gonna use Moon. Moon does have a little bit of like a, almost like a, I don't know, like a cool tone shift to it, but I'm gonna use that on my inner corners here. Get something really ethereal going. Up here. It's also kind of validating when another person who you really like their style really enjoys a lot of the same products that you do. It's like, oh, okay. You know. Game recognizes game. And Kate geographically is not that far from me. She's in New York City, but like from the standpoint of like actually getting there, it's a world away. Because I'm in New Jersey, it takes like 2 hours to like ride a train into the city, and then you're only at Penn Station, and you learn very quickly that everything in New York City takes more time than you thought it was going to. And yeah, that's why this collab is not in person. I do pretty much always go in with a little bit of eyeliner, so I am going to go in with a little bit of eyeliner here. And by eyeliner, I mean eyeshadow as eyeliner. Like, it takes it just occurred to me, I think it takes less time for Amanda to drive here from Maryland than it would for me to ride a train in to see Kate. What I need is Buffalo Beauty Boy here. First of all, I need a freaking haircut. But I need him here to collab with me. One of her favy faves in the brow game is the Kosas Airbrow. I have it in the shade medium chocolate brown. Ever since trying Refi, I realized that like brows are everything. I always used to like, you know, be very grateful. I've always been very grateful for my big fluffy brow, well, always in my adult life. You know, never mind the late 90s, early 2000s when I abused them. I'm so glad that they came back. But just using all that effort and making sure that they were really, really blown out and big, I was like, man, that makes a big difference. It's like having another accessory. Big brows, power brow. I always thought I went too far on my brows. Turns out I can go so much farther. Boom! And she actually loves Kosas the Big Clean Mascara, so that's what I'm going to be using today. This might make my eyes hurt because I've literally had this since I was 7 months pregnant. My child is 10 months old. How long does this last? It doesn't say. We're just gonna go with that. It is such a pretty mascara. I wish that it didn't smudge. It does smudge, and I have like zero patience for smudge, but it's, oh, it's so pretty. Boom. Gosh, that is just, look at that. Woo! See if we can fly a little closer to the sun today. We definitely need more blush. I feel like I wiped a lot of it off when I used the highlighter. Kate and I share a passion for a lot of blush. Oops. Wow, this looks really coming together, guys. I do want a little bit of contour, and I'm going to do that with some powder. Where is it? Yeah. I'm just gonna go in with Victoria Beckham real quick. Look how fluffy this brush is. This is an old Real Techniques brush, but I cleaned it. It's so fluffy. Fluffy. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. The bronze, it brings out, it's like adding salt. You know, it brings out all the other flavors. And I wonder if I can find the Kosas in clear and get even more brow game. Yes. Brow game. And finally, we have the lip. Should I do my lip liner? I think I'll do my lip liner. Yeah, I really feel like this goes with like that body sauce. Like it's just that same milky brown. Are you guys ready? Oh, I love the smell of her lip glosses. Look at this, look at it. Oh, I wore the right shirt. Such a vibe. Now, I'm gonna check real quick and make sure there's nothing that I missed here. She likes the Kosas Cloud Set. So let's just do a little bit of that. Add a little bit of coverage underneath the eyes. Pull the whole situation together. This stuff is so beautiful because it has a little bit of like a luminosity to it. Everything I feel like that she picked has like a really beautiful either dewiness or like a hybrid luminous texture. That kind of pulled it together. And what I love to do if I have kind of just set with powder is just add a little bit of setting spray. I just forgot that I am not wearing a tube mascara. I hope that doesn't go everywhere. Totally accidental to wear a shirt that is all of these colors, but it's such like a mood altogether. By the way, this is a Diet Prada shirt. Nothing wrong with like a random tie-dyed shirt, but Diet Prada is like one of my favorite Instagram accounts. My friend from college started it and I wanted to support, so yeah. Okay, so this is the whole Kate the Great picked my makeup look today. I love that it's so incredibly like natural and wearable, but I also feel super duper pretty. And again, the two products that she really inspired me to buy were the body sauce, which 10 out of 10. Like I wonder, like, see what this looks like if I just, you know, use it as a body sauce. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are just like asking me to do that right now, screaming at their screens, seeing if I can just, you know, be a tanned goddess. Yeah, super, super subtle, but you can definitely see a difference. This is the one that has it on it. And it is like matte enough. I don't feel like that's gonna be, you know, stamping color everywhere. So that's really cool. I'm glad it comes in a gigantic bottle and, you know, it's a really, really wonderful, like dialed in shade that I feel like is super, super easy to apply. Doesn't leave a lot of like streakiness. It's not orange at all. That's awesome. And I can't get enough of this freaking lip gloss. Like it gives me Y2K vibes, but in this just, I don't know, this way that only Pat McGrath can do. Because, you know, I have something slightly similar to it from Patrick Ta. You know, that's sort of similar, but it just doesn't have quite the same punch to it. And Pat McGrath's formula is a lot more like juicy. It's just kind of your preference, but I love that this does. Like the thing I think is different in this one is that it's just got a touch more like cool tone reflect to it. It makes me feel really special. So I already owned 3 other shades that were a little bit more tame than this, but I love that this is like a clear gloss with like 500 shades of like, you know, pink, purple, and blue in it. So this is the whole look. And I also wanted to say, I forgot to say this, but like this collab has been so long in coming. We were planning this before Kate got asked to go and work on a cruise ship. So she is a performer, a stage performer, and she like an actor and stuff like that. And she went and what was it, like 8 months or something like that? She lived on a cruise ship and was, you know, performing every single night and stuff, and those were really fun videos. But her upload schedule was a little bit inconsistent, and so we kind of held off on the collab until she got done. But like we had been talking about it before that. That's been like literal years ago. And so she was like, hey, let's, you know, finally get around to doing this. So I'm really, really glad that she did. And if you have not checked her channel out, I highly recommend it to definitely go check out her version of this video and subscribe to her channel while you are there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this fun video on a Friday. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. And welcome to anybody who is new. Hello, I'm Kackie. Nice to meet you. Hope you'll subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.